What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'll be checking Fallout 4 running on my PC. Now, first of all, let's talk about specs, of course, because I think that's important. You will find the full specs on my PC in the description below, so check it out. By the way, I've got a gaming laptop. It's Lenovo Legion 15. I bought it a couple of months ago. And it's a RTX 3060 based laptop, gaming laptop. I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest with you, when it comes to performance and stuff in most games. So obviously it comes with RTX 3060 NVIDIA graphics card with 6 GB of RAM. I know it's not much, but still. And 6 cores, 12 threads AMD Ryzen CPU. I think it goes up to 4 gigahertz, something like that, in boost mode. It's Ryzen 5600H, so Zen 3 based CPU, so very good CPU in my opinion, especially for the laptop setups. And it comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM and Gen 3 SSD, NVMe SSD. Now, where this game, Fallout 4, I'm running it without any mods. Nothing has changed. The only kind of tweak I had to do was in the configuration file to enable this game to run above 60 frames per second, because for whatever reason some Bethesda games on PC out of the box just are locked to 60 frames per second. I don't know why they do this. Maybe they know that not a lot of PCs can actually run it above 60, which you kind of can see right now, right? I mean, if you look at the in the top left corner, you see that it's running anything between 120 to like 80 frames per second, right? So it's maxed out. The game is maxed out. I'm running it at like max possible settings. So if we get into what am I doing? Let's enter the building. So when I'm in the buildings, obviously I'm getting the 120 frames per second, right? Which is cool, and that's fine. But most of the game, let's face it, you spend outside the buildings, and even in the building you can see it's not really 120. I guess it depends on the building and stuff, but it's close, I guess, right? But you would imagine that such a game, it's an open world game, sure, but should run better. Now, I think the problem with this game for the most part is the CPU, because right now you can clearly see that it's running it's like at 40% of CPU utilization, and I know that the GPU is being heavily used for the most part. But even if I drop resolution to like 1080p, because right now I'm running this game at 1440p, then the frame rate doesn't go up that much, because it looks like for the most part, like even right now you can see that the GPU is not fully utilized. I mean, GPU load is anything between like 70 to 90%, right? And I'm still not getting really 120 frames per second, because this game is CPU bottlenecked, right? When it comes in terms of graphics, I mean, this game still looks good. I mean, it's not the prettiest games ever, but it's actually decently looking game still. I'm a big Fallout fan, to be honest with you. I played Fallout 3. I never played these original ones, so the Fallout 1 and 2, I think, these are too hardcore of games, I guess, for me. But I played Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and so these games were great, and Fallout 4 is very good as well. And I know that there is, the story-wise, I guess it's not, the story is not its biggest kind of advantage, because like, it's, I mean, there's some very interesting story twists in the game later on in the game, especially when you find out what actually happened with your son, because the premise of the game, the very beginning of the game, is basically you set on that journey to search for your missing son, right? And the only thing I can tell you is that, you know, at one point in the game you will find your son, but I'm sure it's not what, you know, it's not what you expected, right? So I will say only that much. So as you can see, the actual performance is kind of like all over the place. Fallout games have always been these not really well optimized games, I would say. I mean, if anything, the Elder Scrolls games were better optimized, I would say, because like Skyrim, I mean, okay, Skyrim is not really last gen game. Skyrim was really an Xbox 360 game, and that game runs 4K 60 frames per second, no problem on that machine, even on consoles right now, so it's not as demanding. I will have to give it a try. I mean, Skyrim probably tomorrow. I'm kind of curious how well this game is going to run on PC. But yeah, there's a lot of open areas. The city seems to be very demanding. So you know what? Let's move to some less populated area, maybe somewhere here, maybe. Let's fast travel. By the way, I've got this game on my external USB drive, so which I probably should have moved it to SSD, so the loading speeds would be much faster. But yeah, it loaded pretty fast anyway. So now we are in less dense area in terms of like population and stuff like buildings and stuff, right? So it runs a little bit better. It runs closer and a lot of times above 100 frames per second. So performance actually gets better in these kind of less populated areas, but still, you know, it's still not 120, right? I don't want to switch anything, and to be honest with you, I can't really switch anything on the fly, because, you know, these Bethesda games, you can switch the settings from the kind of launcher, really. Let's disarm it. I don't think I've been here before. What's that clicking sound? Must be this toy or something. Hot plate. I don't need hot plate. Okay, I'm not sure if that's a good idea to actually enter that. I mean, this place was cleared by me before, so shouldn't be that bad. I don't remember this place, to be honest with you. I haven't played Fallout for a while now. Yeah, it's empty, like ammo box. So yeah, it's all cleared. I cleared that place before. But look, I'm inside, right? And I still I'm not really getting 120, which is weird, but you know, that's the thing with this game. So unless you've got like very fast CPU, because like I feel like this game is being bottlenecked by the CPU right now, for the most part. Unless you've got very fast CPU, I would stick to 60 frames per second, right? You have to use a trick to actually enable 120 frames per second. So if you guys... Oh, if you guys were interested in that, I can actually make a video about it and show you guys how to do it. So let me know in the comment section. If you're reading this, then you are an idiot. This is the last time I tell you you are locking this door. Use the entrance in the server pipe. Next time you forget, I'm locking your ass out permanently. Yeah, why not? Let's take it. Yeah, okay, I was wondering. That's this monkey is making this sound. Yeah, so I mean, I guess 100 frames per second is better than 60, but unless you've got FreeSync or G-Sync, I guess. I mean, it's still good, still playable. I don't get any screen tearing as VSync is probably enabled. I didn't really check that, to be honest with you. But I like the exploration to the Bethesda games, and I'm more of a Fallout guy than Skyrim. Started playing Skyrim again a while ago because like Skyrim was one of these games, Bethesda games, and actually that applies to other Elder Scrolls games as well, where I would start the game and never finish it because like I like the exploration aspect of these games. In Bethesda games, you know, I know that these are RPGs, they've got stories and stuff, but like I never cared about these stories for the most part. I think like the most I cared about the main story in Bethesda game, I think it was in Fallout 3. Yeah. But other than that, like what I really appreciate these games for is the exploration, you know, modifications, and you know, and that kind of stuff, right? I just like it, you know. You like in Fallout 4, I don't really like the base building aspect of this game, so I never bothered to do this much. I mean, at the very beginning of the game, you have to obviously build some settlements and provide power, food, and that kind of stuff. So it was one of the things you have to do. So I did just that and pretty much left it alone. After, oh, there we go. I found some money. So yeah, I mean, I just like exploring. Hey, it may be dog food, but it's food, so yeah. So I mean, Fallout on PC, I would say it's 60 frames per second a game for the most part. I'm running this game at 1440p. That should be the YouTube video resolution as well. It's fully maxed out, so I cranked up all possible settings to max everything, like literally everything. So I guess, like, you know, maybe I'll make another video to I'll play with this game a little bit and try to find out if there's any like optimized 120 frames per second optimized settings, because if I'm running everything to the max, obviously there's, yeah, something has to give. So performance, of course, right? But we'll see. But anyway, listen, this is Fallout 4 running on my Lenovo Legion RTX 3060 based laptop. I did enable 130 watts mode on my laptop for better performance, and this is what I'm getting. 40% CPU utilization, almost 100% GPU utilization, and I'm getting above 100 frames per second in this particular part of the game, and around 80-90 frames per second in the city. Shame that I'm not really getting 120 in like in the buildings, but it is what it is. So guys, That's the video for you. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Really appreciate all support. Please share the video because it helps me and the channel a lot. Consider subscribing. Check my other videos. I will be mixing stuff up because I'll be making videos on Xbox, PC and PlayStation games and stuff, so more is to come. I'll be actually making some mods videos as well, but that's in the future. I've got pretty decent plans for this channel, and obviously check my other channel, Mads Gaming, where I cover gaming news, and that's not going to stop. So yeah, guys, thanks a lot again. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy Fallout 4. Take care.